Ryan, how are you, man?
It's been a roller coaster of a day, but it's been good. It's
That's
been um
awesome.
it's been incredible. I tweeted it earlier. The response from everybody on Twitter and those who are um, reaching out to me has been incredible, and then I'm honestly so thankful.
That's awesome, man. Well, first off, congrats on your success in 2018. You finished up sixth in the Canaan East Series in points, and you were involved in the NASCAR Next program. Well, first off, tell us about the beginning of your race career. Like, how did you get involved in racing?
So that's a little bit wild. None of my family was racers. Like none of them did it. It was just I liked monster trucks, off road trucks, blah 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 blah, and I tried other sports. I tried basketball, football, baseball, and I played the same sport in all those, and I was bench because I was just that bad. So I was like, you know what? Let's go to Irwindale. My dad found out about Bandoleros, which is a starter class for kids, and from there we bought our own bandolero. My first year in, we won the state championship, and it just went up from there.
That's awesome, man. So I went. Let me see. I have your information here about your career and stuff. So apparently, you got involved. Tell us more about your 2018 year. What's your thoughts on, man? Yeah.
Well, obviously, my 2018 year, it was definitely a up and down. It was a struggle, but it was also one of the biggest learning experiences I've had in my life. And I've seen a lot of people say some bad things on Twitter about Rev Racing and stuff, like not taking me back. Don't do that. They gave me an opportunity of a lifetime, and frankly, not being on their team now, I am still way better off now than I was 2 years ago. And that's just because they've put me in such an amazing position, and everything is thanks to them. But really, my year this year was good. I learned a lot. I went to a lot of tracks. Before, the biggest track I had ever been to was Kern Raceway, and that was only a half mile. So I kind of got thrown into the herd, and I was raced against guys like the Dylan Bassett's, the Bassett brothers, I guess you could say, the Tyler Ankrams, the Alfredos, the guys, the Harrison Burtons, the Todd Gillens, all the heavy hitters of NASCAR. And we finished up the season. We were always mid pack to towards the front, and every race was just logging laps and figuring it out the car. I was hoping I could have a little bit more of an opportunity to continue learning, but they Rev had to go in another direction, and like I said, that's just the way the sport is, and it was just that's the deal, and they made it, and they are going to have a great year because I know Ruben and Chase are both phenomenal race car drivers.
Sounds good, man. Well, where do you see yourself in 2019? Have you ever had have you ever had planned out 2019 yet? Now with this announcement today, have you already looked ahead? Some ideas that you have in mind for 2019?
Yeah, 2019 is going to look a little bit. It's going to be pretty much all over the place. I guess you could say. Some people call it the Harrison Burton year, where he did basically a little bit of everything. I'm going to call it the Clint Boyer year because Clint Boyer spent a year. He knew that he had something. He knew that something was better down the road. And I'm not saying that I know that there's something better down the road, but I'm definitely going to make sure that in 2019 I stay in the seat, I stay relevant, I keep learning because the more I learn, the more knowledge I'll have. And who knows, maybe back in 2020, I can go back to the Rev Racing Combine and get back with Rev Racing. So there's always that opportunity there. And I really plan on working a lot, really hands-on with the diversity program and with Rev at times. Still working hands-on with them because, I still am NASCAR Drive for Diversity. I still am all that, just not with Rev. So like I said, I'm very thankful for what they do and what they've given me. And, moving into 2019, it's looking like my schedule will be a lot of late model racing and a little bit of K&N and hopefully ARCA, fingers crossed here and there.
That sounds good, man. Well, first off, how old are you again? 18, right?
18, yes.
Okay,
turned 18 2 months ago.
Okay, sounds good. So it is part of racing, and
Yeah.
obviously, even though it does sound like disappointment, you even said, being disappointed is an understatement. But it seemed like in that statement this morning, you were still very positive, keeping your head up high because obviously, you know that this is not the end for you. You said it may this experience may have closed the door for you, but it just leaves room for another door to open for you, especially coming up in 2019. So it seems like you're very positive. Just for an 18-year-old, that says a lot about you. You just don't think of it as this announcement today as anything negative. You're still very thankful for the experience. And, obviously you're already thinking ahead and ready for 2019 and even maybe a few years down the road. So, I appreciate that, and the kind of person you are, the personality, and that's what we need
Thank
more
you.
of because every driver goes through this, even the big stars. I mean, the Montrex Jr. Furniture Row Racing shut down, shocking. Brett Moffitt, Alva Ride just won a championship. Jimmy Johnson, Lowe's not together anymore. It seems like every driver goes through this down days or down moments in their racing career, but there's always room for expansion and building new opportunities. So, Ryan, we do wish you the best of luck for 2019, and of course, for those that always support you, will always be there for you. I will personally always be there for you, no matter what, because I don't look at this announcement as like, oh man, I'm just not going to support them anymore. Because no matter what, I feel, Ryan, you're going to still get somewhere. So,
yeah, there's definitely a lot of confidence going in. I'm working day in and day out like that. What I wrote in that is literally what's happening. I get up, I wake up, and I'm instantly back on my laptop, or I'm on my dad's iPad, sending out emails, trying to do as much as I can. I want to reassure everybody who is listening, or those who have tuned in specifically to hear what I talk about. I don't know if there's any that did, but if they did, cool. But I just want to rest assured to everybody, there's, I got here, my way of being in this sport is very unconventional. I'm not well off funding wise. I don't have a big last name. I'm not very, I'm not from a racing family. I'm not from a racing area. I'm Mexican. And so when you see me show up to a racetrack and people see me show up, they realize that, and I hope they realize that, all the hard work that has gone into this, and that's not changing whatsoever. It's just going to be a lot more this year, and I'm just really excited to do it all.
Like I said, man, just gotta keep fighting. Every other driver will have to do the same thing, and that's exactly what you're doing. Just stay up, being positive. Well, so obviously you're already looking forward to 2019, and obviously you got a thing ahead. But what was on when? Okay, let me go back a little bit. First off, so when you first got involved in NASCAR, you were in NASCAR. I want to ask you, what was that moment like for you when you knew that you were going to be part of the NASCAR Drive for Diversity, NASCAR Next program, and just a driver in NASCAR? Like, what was that moment? What were those moments like for you, man?
Yeah, those moments were very important to me because they were so life-changing. I mean, they brought me to points where I'm at, like right now. I remember I got the call that I was for getting on Rev. I was at school. It was during lunch. I was hanging out with a bunch of buddies, and I had a feeling. There was a week and a half has gone by since the combine, and I was like, okay, I should be getting a call any day now. And then I get a text saying, "Are you free for a call?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And sure enough, like a minute later, I see on my phone, like I have the number. Some of the, like, at the time I didn't have a lot of contacts at NASCAR, so the only contact I had was just named NASCAR, and then it said Daytona Beach, Florida. And I opened my phone and I'm like, oh, let me answer this. And so that happens, and I got the call. I broke down crying in front of my buddies, and I didn't care because it changed my life. And same deal with the NASCAR Next deal. I was on a run with my teammate at the time, Nick, from Rev, and I said, hang on, I need to stop. And I got the call, and it was just all these things that have kind of come together and accumulated this year have been incredible. I mean, I went from being your local short track racer and a late model, racing at the local level, winning at the local level, to being placed in the K&N East, racing for Rev, NASCAR Draft University, and NASCAR Next. So it's an unbelievable journey, and I'm just very lucky.
Sounds good, man. Again, you know what? You fought hard to get to that point in your life, and you succeed. And then obviously you're still succeeding to this day. And obviously, I know 2019 is going to be a little bit of a change for you, but I know for sure that you will be back in the saddle, let's say, and keep fighting, stay strong. I'm very happy to hear that how upbeat you are, just positive about all this. Even though, yeah, like you said, disappointment is an understatement, but you're still thankful on where you got in your career so far, and obviously you want to keep going, you want to keep flying, and who knows, maybe this announcement today could actually just open the door for even better things for you coming for 2019. So I mean, a lot of people can look at it as a downer and stuff, but then at the other side of it is like, wait, this actually may not sound as bad as I thought. So you just got to take it one day at a time, man. And you never know where life can take you, which is crazy to me because that's even happening to us to this day. You just never know. You wake up one morning, you don't know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day, some good news, some bad news, and what opportunities are coming your way. So, is there anything you want to ask him, or should we get into fan questions?
Sure, we can get the fans to ask questions.
So I guess we could get the fans some questions. If you guys want to follow Ryan Vargas, by the way, he has Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are in the chat right now if you guys want to check him out and stuff. So if you guys have any questions for Ryan Vargas, we would like to ask him, and he could for sure definitely answer some questions. So Ryan, we got a question here. What do you do on your spare time when you're not racing?
On my spare time when I'm not racing, a lot of my time when I was at Rev, I would go in and I would work. I'd either do schoolwork or I'd, try to set up sponsorship meetings. But now, obviously with the change, my day looks like this. I usually wake up pretty mid-morning, around 8, 9, and I just I get up, I get going, and I start. I instantly check my laptop. I check emails. I check. Making sure that everything's going good. And then, I see what kind of leads I can go after, just searching nonstop and talking to teams. And I have a stack of business cards that I've accumulated through the year. And, now I'm being able to follow through with a lot of those meetings with those people. And so, like I said, today today I had a sponsorship meeting with a company. So fingers crossed on that. And there's just, you never know where this is going to go. And so I just try to work so that I can find a way to know.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good, man. Well, I did have a question pop up in my mind and then went away, but someone reminded me of that. So you have a foundation. I read about this foundation sometime a couple of months ago and stuff, and I had it on my phone earlier. I don't know where it's at. So can you talk to us about what your foundation is about?
Yeah, so I back in September, I partnered with a nonprofit organization. They're called Cranial Carers. I'm actually wearing their bracelet right now. What they are is they raise awareness and also, in a way, also raise funding for families who are going through getting the surgery for their kids. Craniosynostosis is what I was born with. It's a skull deformation where basically the side of my skull was flat, very flat. It was flat right here. Still is to this day, just not as dramatic. And I had surgery when I was 11 months old. I was one of the first people, I think, in the world to get the surgery. So it was a groundbreaking thing. And so when that happened, and going through this year, I kind of realized how many people it affected. And I had realized, I want to give back to these kids because, for me, I look at my scar and I see it as the reason why I'm here and why I'm able to do everything that I can do. But some kids, they see their scar and they think, man, I'm not going to amount to anything. This is going to hold me back from everything. People aren't going to take me serious. Like I get so many funny looks at the racetrack because they think I'm one of those weird looking race car drivers that think so highly of themselves that they're going to put a lightning on the side of their head. Like, no, I'm not that. It actually has a really cool story. So I like to tell it all the time. And it's just something that I'm proud to wear.
That's awesome, man. Well, it seems like I don't like anything that stopped me. I've had major surgeries before, and it's not stopped me. So it's kind of an inspiration from you to know that, hey, this is what I was born with, but it's not going to stop me for who I am and what I want to do in my life. So that's very inspirational there. Let's see. We got another question. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Oh, so the Drive for Diversity class was just announced today. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm very happy for every one of them. They all were very competitive at the combine. Ruben and we actually went head to head in the fitness challenge, so that was pretty cool. And being able to work with all these guys this year, Ruben, Chase, Nick, and Ernie at times, it's been awesome. I was able to learn a lot from Ruben and both Ruben and Chase, and then also be able to help out my other teammate Nick, adjust to late models, because going from legend cars to late models was a big move for him. So he's done a phenomenal job doing that. And, Ruben getting 2 wins this year and capturing the Mexico Series championship, that's big. Chase, he's doing a great job in working at his own house, working on his mini sprint. And I help him whenever I can on that. And I'm still going to maintain a great friendship with all of them. I mean, I text Ruben after his Mexico Series championship. I'm like, time to celebrate. Like we're still all hanging out. We're still all really good buddies with each other. And same thing with Ernie. I learned a lot of things from Ernie this year, doing the road course racing and stuff. So I wish them all, honestly, the best of luck. Everybody's probably wondering, Ryan probably has so much, probably isn't very happy with Rev, blah, blah. That's not the case. Like I said, Rev gave me an opportunity that not many kids or racers ever get. And I'm just always thankful for that. And I'm thankful to have worked with all these guys. And like I said, I wish them all the best.
Sounds good, man. Well, let's see. So who would you say is your main inspiration in your racing career?
My main inspiration in my racing career, it's hard to say that because, I've had so many. But the biggest one for me isn't even a racer. It's my dad. There's a lot of times, in my career where we were not good. And, I came into the sport very, very green, having not raced in my life. I started late at the age of 12. And, when I said, Dad, I want to race cars, he said, okay, but we're going in full bore and we are going to make you a champion. And from there, we became champions in our respective divisions and moved up the ladder, ran street stocks, spec trucks at Irwindale, late models, and to have made it this far is incredible. And, I always get frustrated at my dad because he always pushes me so much. But at the same time, there's a reason why he does that, and it's because we've made it this far. So I'm really thankful for that.
And the reason why even our parents have done that too, they push you because they want you to succeed. They want you to do your best and stuff. So obviously when you're a young kid, that may think of it like, oh, please don't yell at me, it's bad and stuff. But no, it actually pushes you to do better. It makes you succeed, and look where it's got you in your life. So that's awesome. Your father was an inspiration to you. Anybody got any more questions? We got a few minutes left. We could definitely get some more questions from you guys. Let's see. I'm trying to find a question for you. So Ryan, who is your favorite Cup driver?
My favorite Cup driver, I was a Jeff Gordon fan, and now I am a big Jimmy fan. I've always been a Hendrick fan, and I've had the pleasure of meeting Jimmy once this year and talking to him. And then, like I said, being with NASCAR Next has opened me up to a lot of opportunities, and it's opened me up to being able to talk to a lot of these Cup drivers. And, it's really cool being able to see all these personalities.
Sounds good. Let's see. So we got another one. Let's see. This guy said, hey, Ryan, it's me from Dover and Charlotte. Matt, props to your maturity today. It's inspiring to me, especially. My question is that if you'll be over here on the East Coast anytime 2019. I'm not sure if you're on the East Coast or West Coast right now, man.
No, I am on the East Coast right now, and I'm planning on staying out here. There's, obviously, there's, I'm very open to racing on the West Coast, if my schedule takes me there. But right now, the only way I'd go back is if for some reason I'm done racing, and that's not happening anytime soon. And even if I quit being behind the seat, behind the steering wheel, I'll be behind a microphone. because I would love to go into broadcasting for NASCAR. I've done it a small handful of times, and I've fallen in love with it. I love being in the social media side of the sport. I've done, I think, upwards of like 10 social media takeovers for NASCAR. So if on the slight chance that I don't make it, I'm going to knock on wood eventually, but I would end up working in the sport either way. So.
Yeah, broadcasting is pretty much fun to me because like I obviously I only do broadcasting and commentary for like a couple of iRacing leagues and stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining and it's just cool to do. So that's cool if you get on the broadcast tonight. Because I remember I went to Irwindale Speedway 4th of July that night and stuff, and you were up in the booth as well. And I'm just listening to you, and it sounded like you were doing really good. I'm like, man, this guy's got a broadcasting voice for sure. I'm just sitting up in the stands, and under caution, you were talking. I'm like, man, this guy sounds good. Obviously, I want to see you behind the wheel and stuff, but man, like even if broadcasting came into play for you as a career.
That's one thing that I always, tell people is that, if you're going to be in something, whether it be a professional sport or be an athlete, you got to love it. And, I grew up a fan, and I'm still a fan. I saw Dale Jr. for the first time this year, and I took a selfie with him. But after that, I became, after that, me and him talked for 20 minutes. First it was about racing, and it ended on, I think it was hamburgers. So, I mean, it was, that's just Dale Jr. And, I'm still a fan, and I love sitting in the stands. I'll plop my butt in the grandstands and watch any cup race any day, and that's just me.
So you would consider as broadcasting as your backup career plan, huh?
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I would love to do it. I mean, I'd love to do it as I'm racing as well. You know what I mean? Like when I'm not racing, do some broadcasting.
Yeah, well, it seems like you've done both, K&N and then or late models and then up in the booth. So apparently you do a good job at both. But hopefully, definitely would love to see you in the car more. Definitely would love that. We're praying for that in 2019, man. So I would like to wish you the best of luck next year. So, I think, Ryan, that's going to do it for tonight. We would love to thank you for being on tonight. And, of course, you're just an inspiration. Even after today's news, you're keeping your head up high, positive. Don't let it put you down and stuff because you said disappointment is an understatement. But the thing is with racing, I've noticed you're going to have more bad days than good days, but you got to push through it. And what you've said it before that in the statement that, the door may be closed in that opportunity of rev racing, but it could lead to better opportunities like the door is open for next year and stuff. So we would wish you the best of luck next year for 2019. And hopefully I would love to see you again. Maybe I'll see you on the racetrack competing sometime next year as well. So again, thank you, Ryan, for being an inspiration and joining us tonight, taking the time. And hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe we'll come back here and talk again soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for everybody who's tuned on, and thank you everybody who gave me, a lot of words of encouragement today. It was, it means a lot.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Ryan, take care. Have a good night, buddy. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Ryan Vargas, NASCAR K&N Pro E Series driver, or until announced today. But that announcement came today, and like I said, disappointment, understatement, but he seemed like he's very positive.